citizen. Palestinians cannot screen people who enter the territories because the checkpoints are controlled by Israel. Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh appealed for help on Wednesday from the international community. He said the real weakness in their battle against the virus is the Israeli occupation, adding that Israel should leave us alone. Britain, France, and Germany have exported medical goods to Iran, which has been hit hard by the coronavirus outbreak. The three European countries said on Tuesday that they confirmed the first transaction has been concluded through a mechanism called Essex. Under the mechanism, trade with Iran can avoid the U.S. sanctions on the country if transactions are settled in euros. The Iranian government has shown no official response, but President Hassan Rouhani said at the cabinet meeting on Wednesday that the United States does not understand what it should do amid the difficult global circumstances. Iran has confirmed 47,593 coronavirus cases and 3,036 people have died in the country. The British government has announced the postponement of a UN climate conference until next year due to the coronavirus pandemic. It was scheduled to take place in Glasgow in November. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the government said that in light of the worldwide effects of the virus, holding an ambitious, inclusive COP26 in November 2020 is no longer possible. The statement says that rescheduling will be discussed by all parties. The British Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy and President Designate of the COP26 conference, Alok Sharma, wrote on his Twitter account, "The world is facing an unprecedented global challenge, and countries are rightly focusing on fighting COVID-19.
Those reports were from NHK World Radio Japan, heard from 10 to 10:30 p.m. at 6155-7410 or 9860, or on the web at www.nhk.or.jp. All the times I announce are for Pacific Daylight Saving Time, so please adjust them to your time zone. On to Radio Havana, Cuba. The Washington Post reported on the medical problems made worse by U.S. sanctions against Iran. The former Undersecretary General of the United Nations and former Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs affirmed that Venezuela has never been involved in drug trafficking between the United States and Colombia, as was recently charged by the United States. Radio Havana, Cuba.
The Washington Post says U.S. sanctions have hampered Iran's efforts to import medicine and other medical supplies needed to fight the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. measures have limited Iran's ability to finance and import essential items, including drugs as well as the raw materials and equipment needed to make medicines domestically, the Washington Post said. The newspaper quoted Iranian medical workers and global public health experts as saying that the U.S. sanctions have deprived the Iranian healthcare system of equipment necessary to save lives and curb the spread of the coronavirus. There are a lot of shortages now. Hospitals do not have enough diagnostic kits or good quality scanners, and there also is a shortage of masks. Noureddin Peramozan, a thoracic surgeon and former lawmaker in Iran, told the Post. Medical staff who want a specific type of medicine or equipment are having difficulty in transferring money outside of Iran due to the sanctions, added the Los Angeles-based doctor who said he is in regular contact with former colleagues in Tehran. Iran has called on the United Nations to urge the United States to lift sanctions, and many countries have made similar demands, but Washington remains obsessed with its maximum pressure campaign against Tehran. The former Undersecretary General of the United Nations and former Executive Director of the UN Office on Drugs and Crime Prevention, Pino Arlachi, affirmed that Venezuela has never been involved in drug trafficking between the world's main producer and consumer, Colombia, and the United States. I have been dealing with the issue of drugs for 40 years, and I have never encountered Venezuela Venezuela. Before, during, and after serving at the United Nations, Venezuela has always been outside the main cocaine trafficking circus, Arlecci said in an article published in the Italian news outlet Antidiplomatico. The U.S. government has charged Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and other top government officials with drug trafficking without any proof, arguing that the Maduro administration allowed the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, to use their territorial airspace to transport drugs and, according to their claims, flood the U.S. with cocaine. The anti-drug experts stated that there is no illegal drug trade between Venezuela and the United States except in the fantasy of Trump and his associates. He cited the recent UN Drugs and Crime Prevention Report on drugs and the latest U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration DEA document dated December 2019, neither of which mentions Venezuela.
Those reports were from Radio Havana, Cuba. Cuba's web stream worked well Monday and Tuesday of this week at their website, radio8c.cu, but their podcast links remained unavailable and the stream went away. On shortwave, Cuba may be heard from noon to 1 p.m. at 15140 and from 6 p.m. to midnight at either 6000, 6060, 6100, or 6165. If you have questions or comments about the shortwave report or could make a donation for production costs of this unfunded program, I may be reached through the website and PayPal or by writing to Dan Roberts at P.O. Box 1162. Willis, California, 95490. Almost all of the funding this freely distributed program receives is from individual listener donations. Please, if you find this program beneficial, help support it like listeners in Cave Junction, Oregon, Sputnik Radio. On this program called Sputnik Radio, George Galloway spoke with professor and journalist Tim Anderson about proxy warfare, regime change, and the shift to liberal support for war. Sputnik Radio.
Now, it's absolutely clear that the United States is using the time of Corona to intensify their regime change operations, particularly in Venezuela, even more particularly in the case of Iran. Earlier, I caught up with the legendary Australian academic, author, and campaigner Tim Anderson, and I asked him, leaving aside the morality of that, is it going to work on the ground?
Yes, you're right, George. The US, of course, has been trying to isolate Iran for 40 years, pretty much. Make it more difficult for the public health system in Iran to get along. Now, they have quite a good, robust public health system, but of course, like everyone else, they do depend on getting in certain outside drugs and certain outside services, so the US is making it much more difficult for Iran, which has one of the worst crises at the moment, to deal with that.